Protein is incredibly important for our connective tissue. Our physical structure is the building blocks for our muscles and our bones, our hair, our skin is amino acids, which are the small components of proteins. And there's 20 amino acids, and 13 of them we can create in our body on our own, and 7 of them we have to get through our food. And whether we're eating a plant-based diet or we're also incorporating animal proteins, we need to make sure that the proteins that we're getting are complete, meaning we're getting all of these essential amino acids that we can't create in our body, so that we're able to have the building blocks for growth and repair within our connective tissue. In terms of complete proteins, eggs are considered one of kind of the gold standard in terms of calories to protein content. And again, I'm not really big into the numbers, but this is one good thing to know, that this is kind of how a lot of proteins are rated, is the egg being a gold standard. So beyond the egg, we want to make sure that if we're eating a plant-based diet or not having any animal products, that we're pairing foods appropriately so we're still getting a complete protein. So the only plant protein that I know of that's a complete protein on itself is quinoa. And quinoa, if all we have is quinoa, we're still going to be getting a high amount of carbohydrates compared to protein, but that's okay if that's your lifestyle choice. The other ways to get a complete protein is by combining things such as rice and beans, or a whole grain and peanuts. These are different ways to work with finding complete proteins in a plant-based diet. We want to make sure that our protein source is also coming to help regulate our blood sugar, and we're able to receive these nutrients so the body's not breaking itself down to get these essential amino acids into the bloodstream and to create the stability and sturdiness in our tissues that we desire. So along the lines of protein balance, we also want to look at minerals. All of this is very associated with our root chakra, our feeling of safety, our ability to regulate and stay calm. And the mineral content is really important for this also. So the mineral content includes our potassium, all of our electrolytes, our potassium, our salt, chloride. We're going to be looking into potentially taking a small pinch of sea salt and adding that into our water. That's one of the most accessible ways to up our mineral content in our connective tissues, so that we're able to be buoyant in our connective tissues and heal appropriately and get the intra-tissue communication moving very swiftly. So yep, sea salt, a high quality sea salt or Celtic sea salt is kind of what I like to use. We can also look into some electrolyte blends that sometimes athletes are looking into. Doesn't just have to be people doing athletic things. If you have hypermobility, this is a really important part to take in. The electrolytes are going to give your connective tissue more ability to bind together and be resilient, rather than if we don't have enough electrolytes, there can be a lot of loose connectivity in the fascial network. So some of my favorite blends for electrolytes are Ultima, Liquid IV, and Noon. There's many others, but when you look into an electrolyte blend, I'll say Gatorade is one that I'm not a fan of because the sugar content is so high that it's actually still dehydrating to the system, even though it's this kind of hydration drink. So we want to make sure that we're having low sugar while we're taking in these minerals so they can do what we really want them to do, and the body is not trying to counteract sugar by voiding the liquid from the body.